Welcome to FundForum International here in Copenhagen. I'm Joanna Simpson. Joining me now is Anastaisa Georgiou, Director of Product Management at Morningstar. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Hi there.
And how did Morningstar get into the index business?
So Morningstar have actually been in the index business for 17 years now, and it really all started as an extension of our proprietary data and research. And at the time, ETF issuer came to us with the idea of turning the Morningstar Style Box into a family of ETFs. Now, the Morningstar Style Box is our 3x3 matrix that basically carves up the equity market by investment style. So that really was the sort of initial foray into indexes, and to this day there are still kind of 9 iShare ETFs out there that track the Morningstar investment indexes. So really from the start we were all about turning Morningstar data and research into benchmarks that investors can use to monitor and measure the market, and into passive investment strategies.
And can you tell me a bit more about the Open Index Initiative?
Yeah, let me just sort of like give you a little bit of background before I kind of explain what that is, just to put it into context. So firstly, Morningstar's ethos is really all about empowering investor success. And when you look at indexes, they're first and foremost, they're analytical tools. And the market exposure indexes, which in the industry we call beta, these are really just, these are looking at market exposure or a segment of the market, and investors are really using these to define asset classes, to look at the sort of relative risk return, and to build and assemble portfolios. So the dominant index providers, they have a fair amount of power in the industry, and over the years they've been able to use that to increase their prices sort of over the rate of inflation over time, and ultimately these fees impact the end investor. So with that backdrop, in 2016 Morningstar launched the Open Index project, and really what we're doing is we're making over 100 beta indexes available for free for benchmarking and at very disruptive pricing for product creation. Now, we really see these beta indexes as a commodity and believe that they should be accessible, and we're doing our part to try to bring the price down.
And what trends are you seeing?
I'd say there's like 4 global trends that we see. Firstly, it's this kind of long-term sort of shift from active to passive. So month on month we see assets flowing out of active funds as a group and into passive such as ETF or index trackers. And there's, I think that one of the core reasons behind this is the sort of increased focus on fee compression that's come around from regulatory change. So MiFID II, RDR, these are regulations that have really focused on transparency for the investor, and sort of created this shift to a fee-based model for advisors, and therefore there's this real focus on costs, and the advisors and the investors are much more aware. The next trend that we see is around smart beta or strategic beta. So this sort of subset of the passives that's really sort of taking a passive implementation but looking to provide an active goal. Then the third trend that I think is that we see is all around goals-based investing. So investors don't really care about sort of products. They really care about what they're trying to achieve. So they're either trying to sort of save for retirement, or they're saving for a sort of additional income, or they're saving for some sort of absolute return. So they're not really thinking about kind of the relative return of the investments. They're thinking about, am I on track to meet my goal? So this approach to goals-based investing is growing, and this generally sits within like a multi-asset framework. And then finally, of course, sustainability. I mean, it's the hot topic. climate change, diversity. These are subjects that are in the news on a daily basis, and investors are really trying to sort of make an impact with their investments, and therefore this is a growing space.
And that's obviously something always changing at the moment, but what's the focus of your business this year?
So we are focused on those 4 trends, and that's actually across everything we do, from sort of data, research, ratings, and of course indexes. So again, from the sort of the market exposure space, we're really sort of continuing to be disruptive with our open index project, and then we're trying to innovate within the smart beta and within sort of multi-asset and ESG. And just to sort of like talk you through a little bit of what we've been doing, at the beginning of this year we launched the low carbon index family. We're in the process of rolling out fixed income and multi-asset capabilities on a global basis to fit a market need. And really everything we're doing is very much sort of focused on where we came from, which is to really sort of utilise the Morningstar data and research, and to sort of help investors by empowering them to sort of reach their financial goals.
Anastasia Georgiou from Morningstar, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.